What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about 4 signs that your man is happy and you are the peace in his life, apparently. That's how the question was worded to me. I got that question on Instagram. If you want to ask me a question on Instagram, go to my Instagram, follow me, and look for the post where I ask for questions. Anyway, before I start this video, I'd like to talk to you about today's sponsor, Been Verified. Listen, ladies, if you want to be safe and protect yourself, background checks have never been this affordable. Now you can go to checkbv.com/care for 15% off all your monthly background check subscriptions. And I know some of you ladies aren't currently dating, but you can get this service for your family members, for your friends, daughters, sisters, mothers, friends, sons, cousins, whoever you know that are out here dating and you want to protect and help them protect themselves. Many people group up and get this service so that they can watch out for their family together. We all know how the rose-colored glasses start to take over a person's judgment. So if you want to help keep yourself or your loved ones safe, this is a great option. This service checks contact information, address history, relatives, criminal and traffic records, jobs, bankruptcies, education, social media, and assets, as well as state-held licensing, which comes in handy when guys are telling you that they're lawyers and doctors and all of these things just to get in your pants, and a lot of times they aren't. There are a lot of scammers out here. Anyway, all of that information is available at checkbv.com/kev. It's all the public information that you need to know and confirm in just one place. All you have to do is search. They organize the information in a way that's simple to understand and easy to process. So click the link below for more information on background checks and how they can help keep you safe. Moving on. The first sign that your man is happy is he still prioritizes you, which means he still comes right home to you. I often talk to women and meet women who have boyfriends or husbands or significant others that claim to be tired, claim to be worn down from working all day, and the first thing they need to do is decompress. But they don't decompress by coming home and resting. They generally decompress by going out with their boys or going to play basketball or going to do some activity that would ultimately drain them more than their work did. Physically anyway. While it's true that people in general need their space to have their own mental freedom and to do the activities they love, a lot of guys will use this and misuse it to stay away from the women that they are no longer happy with. There's a difference between a guy hanging out with the guys, getting that time in, decompressing mentally from responsibility by having a good time, versus a guy who's just avoiding coming home to a woman that he's no longer enchanted with. Too often, men become avoidant of their homes and relationships. I've known men who work overtime that hate their job but hate their woman more than they hate their job, so they stay over for no reason at all, for no extra pay even. I've watched people sit in their cars for hours just because they didn't want to go into their homes. I've watched men avoid their wives and wives avoid their husbands for no other reason outside of they were just unhappy and didn't want to deal with their bullshit that day, or any day for that matter. When a man still prioritizes you, spending quality time with you, talking to you, conversing with you, having great connections with you, when he still prioritizes being around you more than he does being around everyone else, it's because you are still a light in his life. You are still someone that he's very happy to be around, happy to spend his time with. But if he does have free time and all of a sudden he turns that into busy time too, with some frivolous activity that he could do later or do in moderation, but he doesn't, he makes it the priority. He has to play basketball every moment he's free. He has to play video games every moment he's free. He has to hang out with his boys every moment he's free. And he leaves no time for you. It's because he's unhappy in the relationship. People don't separate themselves from that which gives them peace. And of course, I'm not saying it's your issue or your fault if a guy doesn't have peace or is not looking to connect with you on a regular basis or check in with you or be around you or come straight home to you or spend time with you. If you are not his refuge, it might not necessarily be your fault, but it could be. So just be very aware about how avoidant your man is in spending time with you and then just coming home and accepting the energy of the home day to day. I love coming home. I can't wait to come home. My house is loud. I got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old running around. My wife wants stuff. She needs things. It's busy. It's a lot of work, chores. It's all kind of crap to come home to. But I still want to be home because I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my family. I'm happy with them. And I'm happy in general with life. But when a guy's not happy, he's avoiding of those things that he believes to be responsibilities or burdens on his shoulders. So just be very vigilant about how avoidant your man is about coming home to you. And if your man comes right home and he's predictable in that way, it might be because he's a lot more happy and more content than some other guys. The second sign that your man is happy is that he still checks in. Too often I talk to women who don't know where their husbands or men are, haven't talked to them, are looking for them, or texting or calling, not getting an answer back. He's made a habit and a practice and a pattern of not really being available to her. And it's become acceptable in a relationship. So he's a little bit avoidant of communication with her. He only communicates when absolutely necessary. Those men aren't generally happy in a relationship. A man who's still willing to check in and check on his wife during the day is likely a lot more happy than a guy who's not willing to. I've been with my wife for almost 14 years, and I still check in with her. We still talk when I'm at work. We still text during the day. If my wife texts me, I'm texting her right back. If I see that she called me, I'm calling her right back. We don't have this thing where I don't want to deal with her and I'm irritated by her. I'm frustrated anytime I have to talk to her, so I'm avoidant, and vice versa. When a guy is happy and when a guy feels connected to his partner, they don't have any issues connecting with him and communicating with him. He's always available to them and they are always available to him. So if you're in a relationship where your guy still checks in and you've been together for a while, but he still checks on you and he still checks in with you to make sure you're safe, to give you updates, to just connect with you during the day, randomly, maybe just momentary, but still checking in with you, it's likely because he's happy. It's likely because he feels connected to you, and it's likely because you are the peace in his life. Otherwise, he would avoid you because you disturbed his peace. So good job. Moving on. The third sign that a guy might be happy in his relationship is he still compromises. When people stop being happy, they often become a lot more rigid, less compromising, harder to please and harder to connect with. That's because they are less willing to make concessions that please their partners, because they themselves aren't pleased. They start to care less about the happiness of their partners, and it becomes a passive-aggressive display of their own condition of being unhappy and unsatisfied in a relationship. Happy men know what's at stake, and they have their own happiness to protect as well as yours through still making compromises and still making sure that you are getting what you need, you're being fed, and you're being satiated in the relationship. They still seek to be seen as fair, as loving, as caring, as warm, as protective, and there's still intention behind their actions. They're not just going through the motions. They intend to love, and so they love passionately. Or again, with intention. They're not aimless in the way they handle you. They want you to be happy too, whether that's watching TV that they don't like to watch, whether that's doing activities that they don't like to do, whether that's giving you the option to choose this thing or that thing, even if it's not what they've chosen. If it's a behavior that you would prefer they do and they don't really prefer to do it, but they do it anyway from time to time, not all the time because he's not a pushover, right? But from time to time, they do what makes you happy regardless of what they want because they need you to be smiling. They need you to be satiated and healthy and happy and feeling connected and cared for. Because when you're happy, they're happy. So again, they make compromises that benefit the relationship, and they never forget that that's what they're protecting. Moving on. When a guy doesn't do that, when a guy doesn't care to make compromises, when he's become rigid in what he wants and that's all that matters, and he no longer listens to what you want and heeds your requests, it's because he's unhappy, and that's his passive-aggressive display of unhappiness. He's no longer protecting the relationship. So again, if that's not an issue for you, then your man is happy. Moving on. The fourth sign that a man is happy and that you are the peace in his life is that he is still a good friend. He still uses your ear. A lot of women are in a relationship with men who have grown out of coming to them when something is wrong. Not just in the relationship, but in his life in general. Too often I speak to women who don't know what their husbands are going through. Don't know what their men are going through. Just know that he's depressed, he's upset, he's irritable, he doesn't want to talk to them about anything. He's traversing the rough landscapes of life all on his own just because he doesn't trust her and he doesn't use her as a friend or an ear. They are not allies, so he doesn't see her as somebody that can help him solve his problem and somebody that he wants to bring his problems to work through. He's not using her as a friend, an ear to vent to, a shoulder to cry on, or any of those things. He may not trust her, he may not respect her opinion, he may not want to hear it. She may be part of the problem, but he's cut himself off from being vulnerable in this way to her and sharing what he's going through and sharing his life's experience with her, good and bad. He's also not doing this for her. Remember, a good friend is passionate about your experiences. They want to know you're okay. They want to know what you're going through. They want to know what's bothering you. They want to know what makes you happy. When a couple is friends with each other, they come to each other. They use each other. Again, their shoulders to cry on, their ears to vent to. They're friends. They care about each other, and they fiercely protect each other's experiences. They get upset when anybody has the balls to disrespect and or come against their partners. just like any best friend does, and they're still your best friend. Sometimes we separate the idea of friendships and relationships from other friendships, but they're very similar. If a guy's with his best friend and somebody starts to talk some crap to his best friend and a fight's about to ensue, guys are going to take up for their best friends if they got some heart. If my friend's fighting, damn it, I'm fighting. That's just how it go. A lot of times a woman can be in the fight of her life, but her man will be completely detached from her experience because he doesn't care. He doesn't want to hear her shit. He's tired of her. He's done. Or a guy could be in the fight of his life. He could be going through a lot of stuff and need the support of his partner, but she's done with him. So she's not really asking him how he feels. She's not really trying to be the shoulder to cry on. She's not trying to encourage him and motivate him and inspire him to move through it. She's just waiting for him to shut the hell up. Or she's just thinking, well, that's what you get because you're an asshole to me. Whatever it might be, when two people are no longer friends, it's an indicator that no one is happy. But if your man is still trying to be your friend, he's still trying to be your confidant, he's still trying to ride for you, he's still trying to protect you, he still cares about your opinions, your thoughts, your processes, your ideas, he's happy. He still has something to protect. He's protecting you. That means you are the prize in his life, and he's going to protect you with his friendship and with his companionship. So if your man is still a good friend, it's a very good sign that your man is happy. So do what you will with that information. That's all I got for now. If you want to check out my sponsor, Been Verified, click the link below for 15% off your background check subscription. I think it's very beneficial. And a lot of women have found out a lot of very important things about the guys that they've been dating before things got too serious. So again, if you want to protect yourself, if you want to be proactive or protect your family members who you know date a lot and date around and might not be as cautious as they need to be, go get that background check subscription. Check out people before you let them into your life. Anyway, again, that's all I got for now. Follow me at KFIC24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.